So that's where we were last night, staying in a very traditional Indian palace, and we're just about to set off and the car's leaving before us. There's the bikes all getting set up and ready for another day of motorbike adventures of India. All the little kids going to school, all in their uniforms.
This is day 9. It's the last day of the tour. Even though there is another day after this as we go back to Delhi, this is the actual last day of the tour as we leave from Nimaj back to Jaipur.
So only 2 days to go. Coming towards the end of the adventure. Heading back now to Delhi.
On the way, we're going to be going to see some marble being cut, and the ride through Jaipur is going to take your breath away.
But first of all, we're going back to Jaipur, staying at the hotel we stayed at on the first night. So that's okay. All good things must come to an end. Oh no, they don't need to. They don't need to at all. See, the traffic hasn't improved then. Overtaking everything. Ah, there might be something coming the other way, that doesn't matter, I'll push them out of the way. Oh my god. Some things never change. And these are the bikes waiting to set off, having just filled up. They do look pretty cool, don't they? You have to admit. And there's mine. Hee. The size of that granite, that marble on the back of there. Look at the size of that lump.
Then all of a sudden, Santosh decided we would have a little short break. So in amongst the traffic, let's pull into the left. And then let's try driving towards the oncoming traffic. We'd seen this happen that often, it was just the norm. So it certainly didn't feel out of place. So, having had our break, and me having had a bag of crisps, it was continuing our quest on to Jaipur. Now, one of the things that I'd been requesting all the way around the tour was to stop off and to see some traditional crafts taking place. Having seen so much marble and granite, we chose to stop off at this region here to go to one of the factories and to see if we could find out how some of this marble is produced from those whacking grey white rocks that we'd seen on the backs of trucks to the marble that we can see on our floors, our worktops, even tiles. So we pulled into this factory and we asked the question, can we have a look around?
You're going to go and ask?
Like the factory, bigger factories, cutting down the whole block into the...
Yeah. We've been given permission to walk around one of these marble outside showcase areas. We've seen on the trucks where huge chunks of white stuff, white rock, has been on the back of these, and this really is the end result. This region being somewhat famous for its marble and granite production, and hopefully what we're going to be seeing is some of that turned into some of this. And what we're going to be seeing now is the stone actually being cut. Look at the amount of water being used. Multiple blades making multiple sheets of it. Belt driven by a big engine there with a bigger wheel, and then you get the multiple blades cutting through the rock using copious amounts of water. And the process that you're looking at there with the multiple blades will take 4 to 5 hours for it to cut through that block. All belt driven. Look how basic the factory is. And that's what this area is famous for. Cutting those massive blocks outside into the sheets of marble that we use as worktop or tabletop, or even floors, baths, showers that we've experienced in some of the accommodation that we've stayed in. And that's what it ends up like. That's how thick it'll be. And how smooth it'll be as well. And there you've got the remnants of some of the grooves cut with the blades being used. And in addition to that, that's the wastewater. And here we have some of the sheets that have already been cut. Now, not everything turns out right. That's life. So if you do get a breakage on some of the larger sheets, they come into the smaller machines here, so they can cut the best parts and still use them for flooring, for example. But then the scrap here can also be collected by people and made into a bit of a crazy paving floor. The water that we saw coming out from the cutting goes into those tanks there, and it's taken away for processing. So nothing, as far as they can achieve, is wasted within this process. You've then also got different colours. Look at the fabulous colours on that. Isn't that just gorgeous, that? And we've been in a bath, haven't we, boys and girls, made by this stuff? Now in Britain, there'd have to be block and tackle, scaffolding, hard hats, health and safety and everything to get that on the back of there. And it's just done as we would have done years ago. Just lift it up and put it on. Can you quickly ask him how many tons he puts through a year? A year?
Sure.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
Okay, how much in a month?
1200.
1200 tons a month. So there we've just had a trip round the marble production factory. 1200 tons of marble a month, just from that one outlet. $1,200 tons a month. And that was in Kishnagar, Marble City. 1,200 tons a month, just one outlet produces. One outlet. That's unbelievable.
Having had a wonderful adventure, we then started to come into the outskirts of Jaipur, and what you are about to see for the next 10 minutes is taking your life into your own hands and driving like they do over there. You've got two options. You either drive aggressively and live, or drive defensively and maybe not survive. But it was tremendous fun. Come on this tour and adventure just to experience this. You'll never think the traffic anywhere else in the world is bad ever again.
Total and utter madness. It's fucking madness! God damn, this has to come to an end soon, surely. Has to come to an end. So that was riding through the centre of Jaipur, ending in seeing a bus knock a couple of guys off their motor scooter, and the bus just driving off. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But then you've got the palace at the top there, look. The peace and tranquility of a palace after that total and utter mayhem of Jaipur. Whew. And there on the other side of Jaipur, you've got that fantastic view there, look. Isn't that just stunning?
We then, having got through Jaipur, having been 2,100 kilometres, we got off the beaten track, took the back roads to Libawa Fort, which was our accommodation. And I have to say, there were tears in my eyes.